Just start. You've heard that 1,000 times. On every post, every video, every random quote with a sunset background. Just start. But nobody ever tells you where. And that's the actual problem, isn't it? It's not that you're refusing to start. It's that you're standing in front of 10 different doors, and every single expert is yelling a different door number at you. Fitness, business, reading, mindset, discipline, learning a skill, fixing your sleep, fixing your finances. All at once, all urgent, all life-changing. So today, we're not going to tell you to just start. We're going to figure out specifically where you, not someone else, should actually start. This is episode 2 of Build Yourself. If you watched episode 1, you already know why you feel lost. Today we fix the next problem, the paralysis of too many starting points. Here's why generic advice like just start doesn't work, and it's not because you lack willpower. It's a design flaw in the advice itself. Telling someone who feels lost to just start is like telling someone standing in a maze to just walk. Technically true, completely useless. Because the real question was never whether to move, it's which direction actually leads somewhere. Most people who try to just start pick a direction almost at random, usually whatever they saw in the last video they watched, and abandon it within 2 weeks, not because the direction was wrong, but because it wasn't theirs. It was borrowed motivation, running on someone else's fuel. So before we talk about action, we need to talk about something people skip completely. Diagnosis before direction. You wouldn't take medicine before knowing what's actually wrong, but that's exactly what most self-improvement advice tells you to do. Take the pill, the productivity hack, the 5 a.m. routine, the cold shower, before diagnosing what's actually broken. So here's the real diagnostic question, and I want you to actually sit with it, not just nod along. What part of my life, if it stayed exactly the same for the next 5 years, would bother me the most? Not what do I want to achieve, not what's my dream life. Those questions are too big, too vague, and honestly, most people don't know the answer yet, and that's fine. This question is different. It's not asking about your dreams, it's asking about your discomfort. And discomfort, unlike dreams, is something you already know the answer to. You feel it every day, you just haven't said it out loud. For some of you, it's your body. You avoid mirrors, you avoid photos, and it's quietly draining your confidence in every other area of life. For others, it's money, that background hum of anxiety every time you check your bank account. For others, it's not external at all. It's the way you talk to yourself, the mental noise that never actually goes quiet. Whichever one made your stomach tighten just now while I was listing them, that's not a coincidence. That's your body being more honest with you than your brain usually is. Let me walk you through a version of this that plays out constantly. Someone decides this is their year. January 1st, they've got it all planned. Wake up at 5 a.m., gym 6 days a week, read a book a week, start a side business, cut out sugar, learn a new language, meditate daily. By January 14th, they've done maybe 2 of those things, twice. By February, they've quietly stopped mentioning any of it. Not because they're weak, because they tried to fix everything at once, which, functionally, means they fixed nothing. Because willpower isn't an unlimited resource you can split 7 ways and still expect strength in any one direction. Now picture a different version of that same person. Same starting point, same list of 7 things they want to change. But this time, they ask the diagnostic question first. What area, left untouched, would bother me most in 5 years? And the honest answer is their body. Not because it's the most important area objectively, just because it's the one quietly costing them the most every single day in ways nothing else on that list is. So they pick one thing, not 7, 1. And for the next 90 days, that's the only project they're allowed to care about improving. Everything else stays exactly as it is, untouched, unjudged, on pause. That's not a smaller version of the goal. That's the only version of the goal that actually survives contact with real life. Okay, so you've identified the area. Now here's how to actually turn that into a starting point using 3 filters. Every idea you have about where to start needs to pass through all 3. Filter 1, discomfort. Does this area actually bother you, or does it just sound impressive to work on? A lot of people start with things that look good from the outside, starting a business, learning to code, because it photographs well, not because it's actually the thing draining them daily. Be honest here, nobody's watching this footage but you. Filter 2, control. Is this something you can actually influence directly, starting today, with what you already have? Not once I have more money, not once I move cities. Right now, with your current resources. If your honest answer touches something you can't control yet, you haven't found your starting point. You found an excuse with better packaging. Filter 3, evidence. Can you get proof of progress within 7 days? This is the one people skip, and it's the one that keeps you going. If your first goal takes 6 months to show any result, you will not survive week 3 emotionally. You need a starting point small enough to give you real evidence, not fake motivation, actual proof, within a single week. Run any idea through these 3 filters: discomfort, control, evidence, and you'll notice something interesting. Most of the impressive goals fail at least one of them, and the boring, unglamorous ones almost always pass all 3. Let's kill a myth right here because it's the thing sabotaging this entire process for most people. The belief that a small starting point means a small future. Nobody looks at a massive tree and says, that's a weak start because it began as one seed. But somehow, when it's your life, a small first step feels embarrassing. Like it doesn't count unless it's dramatic. Here's the actual mechanism behind why small starting points work, and it has nothing to do with being gentle on yourself. It's about identity evidence. Every time you complete a small, honest action in the area you chose, you're not just checking a box. You're collecting proof, real, undeniable proof that you are becoming a different kind of person. Not a person who wants to change, a person who does, even in small ways, consistently. And here's the part nobody tells you. Your brain doesn't believe big declarations. Saying, I'm going to transform my body this year, means nothing to your subconscious. It's just noise, a sentence with no receipts. But showing up for a 15-minute walk 5 days in a row, that's a receipt. That's evidence your brain can't argue with. Confidence isn't something you think your way into. It's something you prove your way into, one small completed action at a time. Now, one trap I need to warn you about because it catches almost everyone at this exact stage. The moment you commit to one small starting point, your brain is going to do something sneaky. It's going to start whispering about all the other areas you're neglecting. You'll pick your one area, let's say fitness, and by week 2, a voice in your head says, but what about your finances? Shouldn't you be working on that too? This isn't your ambition talking, it's resistance wearing ambition's clothes. It feels productive to think about 7 areas at once, but it's actually just a sophisticated way of avoiding depth in any single one. Multitasking your self-improvement is how people stay busy for years without changing anything at all. The rule here is simple, even if it's uncomfortable. Everything outside your chosen starting point is allowed to stay imperfect right now. Not forever, just for this window. You're not ignoring your finances by focusing on fitness for 90 days, you're sequencing. And sequencing, not simultaneous effort, is how actual transformation gets built. So let's put the whole episode into one simple sequence you can actually use today. Step 1. Ask yourself the diagnostic question. What area, left untouched for 5 years, would bother you most? Step 2. Run your honest answer through the 3 filters. Does it actually bother you? Can you control it starting today? And can you get real evidence of progress within 7 days? Step 3. Once you have that one area, pick the smallest possible honest action inside it. Not the most impressive one, the smallest one that still counts. That's it. That's the entire starting point. Not a 5-year plan, not a color-coded schedule. One area, one small action, 7 days of evidence. Here's the truth this whole episode has been circling. You were never actually lost about where to start. You were overwhelmed by too many doors shouting at once, and nobody ever gave you permission to close 9 of them and walk through just one. Consider this that permission. This is episode 2 of Build Yourself. In episode 3, we take this one small starting point and turn it into something that survives longer than motivation ever does. Your first real routine. Because choosing where to start is only half the equation. What you do with the next 30 days after that is the other half. If this gave you even one moment of clarity, subscribe. This series is built to be walked through in order, one honest step at a time, exactly like we talked about today. I'll see you in the next one. You are not alone. Let's get there together.